Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity, Stop the New World Order. Welcome to Panmo TV. I'm visiting a crop circle. So I'm here. I'm actually at my favourite place, which is White Horse Hill, which is in Oxfordshire, and it's the highest point in Oxfordshire, and ever since I was a small child, this has been my favourite place. I'll try and get a shot later of the White Horse and Dragon Hill, but for the moment we're going to go and visit the crop circle. The crop circle is in a field, and it's in a field next to the White Horse Hill, in a field of barley, and we're just going to go and visit it now. I can't show you a photo of it from any of the photos that have been taken, because crop circle photography is a very, very jealously guarded copyright fundamentalist profession, and I don't want Matthew Williams having a go at me saying, "Ben, that's my photo, you let go, you put that back, you bastard," because that's what he'll do, Matthew Williams, and several other people, photographers like Lucy Pringle. They always say they lease them to Crop Circle Connector. Crop Circle Connector say, this is copyright, don't use it without permission. So I'm not going to show you any of the images of the crop circle. But the actual field is over here, just through these line of trees, and we're going to head there now. And there it is. You can just see from here now. You can just see from here. I'm going to try and get a bit closer to it in a minute. Okay, this is barley. We're moving through it now. We're being very careful, incidentally, not to damage any of the crop. We don't know whether the farmer's given permission for people to come in here. This is private land, but the crop circle is over there, so we're going to see if we can get to it. If someone shouts, "Oi, get off my land!" and aims a shotgun at us, we'll just do a runner. But I'm just going to have a look down here, see if we can get to it. It's a beautiful evening, incidentally. It's absolutely lovely. We've got like the sun is shining. Fantastic view up here. We're up at the Uffington White Horse Hill. The best view for miles around here. Highest point in Oxfordshire. And we're heading to see if we can get into this crop circle from here. And there is that's how we're going down the tram lines here. I'd love to be able to show you a photo of this, but crop circle photography is a very, very jealously guarded thing when it comes to copyright. I know Matthew Williams has made a couple of videos about this, about the tussles he's got in over his drone footage and his microlight footage and his photography. So I can't show you a complete image of this, but I'll try and draw you one. I'll try and draw you a diagram of what this actually looks like, and I'll put it as a still on this video. Well, we've arrived, and the crop circle is still here. And now, it's very obvious. My companion, the person who's brought me here, has told me that it's been altered. This whole area has been cut out. This wasn't here when he last came here, and which is a shame. If you look at the actual picture, you can see it's like a series of wide blocked circles, interlocking circles. But you can't see it from above. I'll just hold this up a little bit, see maybe you can get a view than I can. But this is clearly as a large centrepiece cut out. So I don't know who's done that or why. I suppose we'll find out. I know. I'll ask Matt. He'll know. Matthew Williams will know. But if you can see here now, based on size, it's about a couple of 150 feet across, maybe. There's these. If you go over here, there's the remains of the old circle structure. Circle structures here. Yeah. I'm not getting any kind of like vibes off this. I don't know how you can possibly say whether things are real or not. But it's a kind of like oh, look there, see. You can see some of the curvature of some of the circular structure, but this bit in the middle wasn't here last time. Now looking at the lay, you can see here, it looks like this is different. This bit of the lay here is very different to this bit. So this bit here looks like it's been pressed down, or it was come down naturally, depending on whether this is man-made or not. And this part of the lay, well, it's obviously not, it's actually been cut out. So a harvester's been along here with a tractor or something, and they basically cut part of it out, which is a great shame, maybe to discourage people like us from coming to visit it. But this is part of the original that's been preserved So you can see here, this is all original. Okay, so just leaving the circle now. There's not much more we can see here, but the guy I'm with has just told me. You can see my shadow there. He's told me that apparently there was some kind of ceremony performed in this circle. Someone left some balloons, yellow balloons with some wreaths, and that's the area. It seems to have been sort of like, it seems to have been a swathe has been cut out the centre by whoever came along and did it. It may not be the farmer, it may be somebody else, it may be just somebody did it for the hell of it, I don't know. I'll get home, I'll look it up on Crop Circle Connector, there'll be some news, I'll ask some croppy people I know, and they'll be able to tell me. But it was nice to visit that. I didn't get any sort of like vibes off it, I didn't get any feelings of extreme spiritual awakening. So nothing there to indicate it's some kind of what Michael Glickman calls a temporary temple, or the bones of God and things like that. Oh, but it's really nice to come here. And there is the Uffington White Horse. Now this is actually a bit newer than Wayland Smithy and these other areas. I think it's like, it may be sort of early Iron Age actually, even. So it's maybe about 3,000 years old. I don't know whether it's like always been kept like that, or whether it's been revived in recent times. But I know that every so often they have to go over and because it's the sort of thing you have to pull the grass off every so often, otherwise it would just disappear. And that down next to it is Dragon Hill, and that's an artificial mound that may well have been used for druid ceremonies and things like that. And as I said, this is my favourite place in the world. I don't know if you're familiar with Kate Bush's video Cloud Busting. Stars Donald Sutherland. It's odd to have a big movie actor in a rock video, but it's a song called Cloud Busting, and just check out the video, Kate Bush Cloud Busting. I saw that when I was a little kid in the cinema, and I remember because it had this amazing effect on me. It really haunted me, and I never forgot it. It was many, many years later that I realised the video and the song is actually all about Wilhelm Reich, who I've talked about before on various things. Now, it had this amazing effect on me, and I didn't know that. But it's filmed here. It's filmed in this area. It's in one of the shots you can actually see the horse. I think it's amazing. It's filmed all along here, and in this beautiful location. And I used to play here when I was a kid. I used to love it. And of course they put it there. That can be seen for miles. I mean, this is an area which is visible for and it must have been in those days. It must have been exactly the same. A very prominent spot. It's a perfect place to put something like this, which is probably why the ancient people chose this area. And this is, of course, it's sacred land. Wayland Smithy is just a half an hour's walk down the Ridgeway, which is a much older structure, which is a burial chamber perhaps, or something else. People say they've been healed there. And there's a strange dip below the horse. You get this like depression. It sinks into this kind of valley. I remember. It's really quite amazing. And so this is a. There's been a crop circles near here before, but we're actually going to go and see a crop circle which has been formed in this area. Guys, I've just stopped in a Lechlade, and I'm just looking at this chemtrail. There's the most enormous chemtrail here, and if that is sort of like a cruising airliner's height, that's got to be a dozen miles across, and it's sylphing here at this end. But that is a really horrific thing to see. And there's another one coming off there. I mean, no way is that water vapour. That is something else. Just thought I'd let you in. It's very, in the evening light, it's very, very prominent. And that's got to be one of the worst ones I've ever seen. Okay, I'm just going to show you a diagram now of this crop circle. I say it's a diagram. It's not that good, I know, because basically I've created it. As you see, I sort of went wrong when I got to the middle bit. it's actually a very regular set of nested six circles, sort of sextupled circles. There's 3 levels of nesting. The ones in the middle are solid. Now, go to a link in the description box. You'll actually see the page on Crop Circle Connector where this is actually seen. So you can actually see, excuse me, you can see what it looks like. Now, when we went in there, as you've just seen, the whole situation was very different indeed. In fact, what had happened was basically someone had got one of these, a tractor, combine harvester, whatever it was, and just basically vandalised it, which is very, very sad. I mean, unfortunately this is becoming more and more common, and it's been going on for a long time. Now, this is a photograph that I took in 2009 in Wiltshire, not far from Avebury. What happened was, excuse me, oh, I've got the yawns this evening. But anyway, I was down at Avebury for the summer solstice in 2009 to help David Icke, because David Icke was making a film. He's making like one of his reports. I think you can get it probably free online now. But at the time it was part of the subscriber service. But I went down there with a load of people from the David Icke forum. It shows how long ago this was. And we had a lovely day. But then we went out afterwards. We went for a drive for something, and we noticed something strange. We could see that the fields had big square segments cut out of the crop. They looked very, very bare. It's like someone had just gone in and just basically chopped down a whole load of the crop, which is odd because it was way too early for the harvest. But they had sent a combine harvester in basically to cut up a whole area of the field. There were 2 patches in one field, I noticed. And then we went on a bit further. We noticed that several of these fields had these bald patches in them. And we asked around. We went to the Red Lion pub at Avebury, and we just thought, what's going on here? And they said, well, farmers are cutting out the crop circles. They're basically obliterating the crop circles. As soon as the farmers spot them, they move in and they erase them by basically cutting the crop all around them so they can no longer be seen. So there's a big square patch. Now, my first question was why? I mean, obviously being a conspiracy theorist, I thought on whose orders, which is a possibility that this has been done on government instructions. However, apparently the people there who knew the farmers said that this is not a conspiracy that the government are doing. It's just the farmers, not all of them, but some of the farmers in the area have decided to try and deter the crop circle makers. They don't like having these crop circles appearing on their land, so they're going to attempt to deter people from going there in the first place by erasing these things as soon as they arrive. That's assuming they're all... I mean, the farmers obviously assume these are all man-made. And hopefully the farmers that develop a reputation for erasing crop circles will then be left in peace by the plankers to begin with. I feel sad about this. I feel sad, very sad indeed, to see crop circles being destroyed like this. Whether they're real ones or, as I said, natural ones that have appeared through the aliens or whoever it is who makes them, or whether they are indeed works of art created by people, because I don't feel any animosity towards the plankers. In fact, I mentioned Matthew Williams. He's a friend of mine. He's a planker and he's a friend. I consider it a form of landscape art. I feel sad that the farmers have done this, and from their point of view, I would like to say to them, you know, why? What's the point? You're cutting off your nose to spite your face. Firstly, it's true that crop circles create damage. They damage crop. I mean, every crop circle in the field can cost a farmer hundreds of pounds, maybe thousands, in terms of lost crop. However, a farmer who knows what he's doing can make more than a compensating few bob in several different ways. One is to put an honesty box in at the gate, which means the people who come in to see the crop circle should just say, could you please put some money in the box just to cover my expenses from this, to have this crop circle in my field. And I tell you, 90% of people will put money in, and the honesty boxes can make a lot of money, more than a compensating amount actually. Sometimes, you know, they can make hundreds of pounds more, and the farmer can actually profit from having a crop circle in their field. Unfortunately, one of the honesty boxes was stolen once, which is really awful, because whoever did that is defeating the purpose. If they're a crop circle person who visits crop circles, then they are cutting off their nose to spite their face. What's more, you can always let the media know, and there's always Japanese film crews around, you know, who want to film in them, and indeed even non-Japanese ones, and tours. Now, in the links in the description box, I have a link to my video Ben Goes on Tour, which unfortunately is in pieces because I didn't edit them together in those days. I just used the comments reply function, which YouTube doesn't have. But I visit 2 crop circles in that video, in that particular set of films. You can find them on the menu. Now, these crop circles, what happened was the farmers had actually cooperated with the organisers of the Glastonbury Symposium, And the Glassing Symposium essentially had agreed to take people on a tour there on the farmer's field, and the farmer gave permission for fee-paying visitors, including us, to go and visit the crop circle. And we did, we paid. It was all part of our ticket to the Glastonbury Symposium, was this tour. So this farmer actually made a profit out of this as well. So therefore it makes me very sad when I see this happening. Very sad indeed. It's, I wouldn't say, you can't call it vandalism literally, because, well, it's the farmer's own property, it's his own land, and it's not, you can't vandal, you know, if you're smashing up your own property or doing anything on your own property, that's not vandalism, it's someone else does. However, it's still, I still don't like seeing this done. I think it's a pity. So, and it's been going on long. Obviously, it was going on back in 2009. It's still going on now. Obviously, not all farmers do this, because there's still plenty of intact crop circles around, which is good. So it's not that bad. I mean, it's not everyone's doing it, but clearly some are, including the guy or the man or woman who owned this land, this farmer, decided what they would obliterate this crop circle that I was going to go and see, and they did. They didn't completely cut it out in a big square, but they cut it out. They basically cut out. They damaged the look of the thing by driving all over it and cutting all over it. And of course, you know, when they do these particular acts, they damage far more. They lose far more crop from doing this than they would if they just let the circle be. Because they have to cut all the space around it, all the crop that's left standing, which makes the circle, has to be cut out as well. So I do wonder if it makes any sense, or whether it is actually a logical and sensible way to react, for farmers to react to the crop circle phenomenon. And I do question whether they should do that. And so I asked them to consider that, basically. That's what I'm saying. But anyway, thank you for watching this little video, and appreciate your interest. There'll be more to come soon. Sorry there hasn't been a video for a few days, but I've been doing other things. Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity, stop the New World Order.
you.